Greetings. In this video, I want to show you how to tell if you're getting oxygen through your oxygen tubing, if there's a kink or if there's a hole in it. I want to show you a surefire way to tell if oxygen is coming out of your oxygen concentrator. Now, this is a portable one, but my mom, who is on 1 liter of oxygen, has one in her bedroom, which is a Stratus 5, and it's a lot larger. The only thing you only need to do is actually check the tubing itself and go through the line and visually see if you see any kinks or any cracks. And I'm doing this with the oxygen concentrator off. I'm going all the way through here. So as you can see on this oxygen concentrator here, there's a kink right here. And that would easily stop oxygen from getting to the patient. One thing that my mom was having is she's had pneumonia. She was on 1 liter, and she would wake up really groggy. And that was the telltale sign that her oxygen wasn't getting to her. And so that's one thing you could tell if you're on oxygen at night, and all of a sudden, your patient is lively, and all of a sudden they're getting groggy. It's a good possibility that they're actually not getting oxygen. So usually the portable ones only has this part, which is called the nasal cannula. The nasal cannula is clear, and that's the one where it's got the actual breathing tubes. That's the nasal cannula. The green part, which again, the nasal cannula is usually only on the small portable ones. The larger ones usually has 2 parts. It'll have the nasal cannula, and it's connecting with the green part, and this is called a smooth bore oxygen supply line. Basically, it's designed to not bend and kink, but even these wear out. You might be asking, how often should you replace them? The nasal cannula, actually you should replace these, honestly, every 2 to 3 weeks. These wear out really quick. They're on the patient's head. They'll get cracks, and these you should actually replace every 2 to 3 weeks. The green part here, you could replace this every 2 to 3 months, but you do need to replace it. Now, on the larger concentrators, like the Stratus 5, and I'll show you the one. This is the one that I replaced my mom's with. It's connecting, and this little plastic thing here is just called an oxygen connector. And this one's made by Medline. That connects the nasal cannula to the smooth bore oxygen supply line. And again, that's for the larger concentrators. All right, so we're going to check to see if oxygen's coming out. Again, you want to check for cracks, bends in the supply line. And you would want to do this while the unit is on. And while the unit is on, I won't turn it on because of the noise temporarily right now. What you want to do is put your ear up to it. Okay, you turn it on. You could start with this part, and you listen to see if you hear any hisses, and you could just hear all the way down through to see if you're hearing any whistling or hissing while it's on. You go all the way down. Remember too, if you're using a humidifier, the little bottle on the larger concentrators, you might want to replace those even sooner, because you want to make sure that there's no water condensation in the tubing, and that would be caused by the humidifier. That you would need to replace because it causes bacteria and can give your patient pneumonia all over again. All right, now it's something called the water test. So you'll get a clear thing of water, turn on the machine, and you're not going to ruin it, but just dip the nasal cannula into the water. If you see if you see air coming up, then you know it's working. If you don't, you know it's not working. All right, now I don't know how well you can see. I'm not seeing any air coming through here. So why would that be? You can see here, there's a kink. right here. And so that means it needs to be replaced. And she's had this for, all right, but she's had this one for 3.5 months now, so it's ready to replace this one. Let's see if I put this one back in. All right, I unbend the kink. Yeah, see, I'm seeing oxygen. You're going to see like bubbles coming out. That's how you know it's working. These, the parts for this oxygen concentrators are very, very cheap. Your medical supplier should supply them. You know, especially if you got insurance or Medicare, they're very, very cheap. You can get them for practically nothing. I'll put a link, and if you don't have access to the oxygen, I'll put a link in the comment section off of Amazon where you can get all these supplies. You know, we're talking less than $10 for the oxygen supplies. And I'll put that in the comment section. All right, if you have any questions, put it in the comment section. You know, oxygen is more important than water, so you want to make sure that your loved one or your patient or yourself is getting plenty of oxygen, and that's super, super critical for your health to make sure you got a good oxygen supply. This is not a place or part where you need to be cheap. Now, one thing that we've done, the patient will walk if it's too long, like this one, because this goes to her bedroom. Okay, and she's got a hurt leg as well. She's walking on it by accident. So what you want to do, being that the oxygen concentrator is next to the bed, is you can use little twisty ties like this, like from the bed, and you can tie them together. That way it will shorten the length. That way the patient won't walk on them and crack them and bend them and all that. And that will prevent them and keep them lasting a lot longer. All right, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, put it in the comment section, and make sure you subscribe.